So, the Chargers just pulled off this insane 9-4 record after beating the Eagles 22-19 in overtime on Monday Night Football. And man, this game was absolutely ludicrous. Multiple turnovers between these two teams, a whole bunch of sacks, missed field goals, just craziness all around. Your Chargers somehow won this game where Justin Herbert was pressured on 66% of his dropbacks, according to Next Gen Stats. I genuinely cannot believe they won this game. You know, we were discussing that even if the Chargers somehow qualify for the playoffs, then still this team is not yet ready, but today it exactly looked like a true Super Bowl caliber team. What's up, Chargers fans? Welcome to the NFL Playbook Chargers. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about breaking down everything you need to know about the Bolts. Let's start with the defense, because this was Jesse Minter's night through and through. 19 points allowed on 14 Eagles drives, and from beginning to end, not counting the Saquon Barkley touchdown, this defense was phenomenal. We were wondering if that Raiders game was just the Raiders game, beating up on a bad team. Then the next week it's whoops, we have a better team and it's no good. But that defense kicked ass tonight. The interior defensive linemen on generally most rushing plays from Saquon Barkley gave him nothing. The way they had their eyes on Jalen Hurts, Hurts had the worst game of his career tonight, and it was essentially due to scheme and play. The Chargers forced them. They were unbelievable tonight. Herbert should be commended for his heroics, but the defense is the reason the Chargers won this game. A game like this is why you think Minter can be a head coach in the NFL. He's asking guys to go cover an A.J. Brown, a Devontae Smith, and tackle a Saquon Barkley. There's a lot of talent with this Eagles group. It's not like the talent is gone, and he's got guys playing their asses off out there from snap one. The Chargers basically forced a 3-and-out pretty early and were great the whole game. Cam Hart doesn't have a perfect game, but on the very last play, which we didn't know was the last play until it was, Cam Hart's mind, his brain, is still in it. The Chargers basically never stopped being dominant on defense. Sure, they gave up some points. The offense didn't help them at all. They give up a touchdown, yes, but they were in it the entire game. Teair, Tart, and Khalil Mack were awesome in run defense today. Both of those guys just felt like they were living in the backfield. Tart, unfortunately, wasn't able to get a couple of those tackles for loss, but he kicked Cam Jurgens' ass several times today. And Khalil Mack right now, PFF has him with 5 run stops, and it was just a tone-setting game for the two of them. It's been a minute since Tart has been this kind of menace. It's been a couple of games since we've seen this, but you felt his presence throughout the entire game. And when he was off the field, I think you also felt his absence. They start the game with that 3-and-out. Tart makes a really good run stop. The game plan from the Chargers on defense was really smart. The simulated pressure where Deshaun Hand gets that interception was so good. There were multiple times where the Chargers would bring everybody at the line, and then they would rush 4, they would rush 5, they would rush 6, or they would rush 3 with Diane Henley spying. It was just such a creative way for them to mess with the Eagles' pass protection rules. Yes, they didn't sack Hurts a ton, but I thought they messed with him and created a difficult picture for him. And then the corners on the back end, man. We've highlighted the corners time and time again throughout the season, and 4 interceptions from this defense as a whole. Some of the pass breakups that the Chargers got today, including the final one, just such a great overall defensive performance outside of like 2 or 3 plays. This coaching staff just gets contributions from so many players every single week. It just feels like different players are able to pop at different moments, and they're just able to get the most out of them at various times. The corners were really good. The safeties were good. I thought this was one of the better Diane Henley games, at least that we've seen in a while. I think just the post-buy adjustments allowing Henley to go forward a lot more has been great to watch. It just feels like everybody kind of raised their level on defense this week, and this is what it looks like when this group can put it all together across the board.
Okay, now let's talk about Justin Herbert and just the heart and the willpower to win. This was his 29th game-winning drive in his NFL career, a game in which he was pressured 66% according to Next Gen Stats, 56% according to PFF. He was sacked 7 times, a career high, 66 yards rushing from Justin Herbert, and I think that ultimately is what won them the game on offense, just doing enough in that regard. You kind of felt that last drive in regulation, he was just kind of like, well, I'm just going to go win this with my legs. And then that carried over into overtime. He has the 2 zone read keepers. It felt like he was way more willing to scramble. It's a really minuscule thing, I guess, to certain people, but him going out there and trying to stiff arm Reed Blankenship with his left hand, his broken left hand, his surgically repaired left hand on Monday. There's been a lot of doubts about Justin Herbert, but his toughness has always been in question for some reason. And this game, just putting the offense on his back as much as he possibly could given the circumstances, was great to see. Receivers not getting open, your offensive line can't protect you, your run game is kind of hit or miss, your offensive coordinator is hanging you out to dry. And Justin Herbert just said, fuck all this. I'm just going to go win, and I'm going to run, and I'm going to take off, and I'm going to do everything I possibly can to get my team a win. This was not a great Herbert game, but you could see his greatness on the field. It wasn't a game where you look back and by any PFF or QBR, you name it, it wasn't a great game. It almost wasn't even like a good game, but there was a will to win, and Herbert won it. And we have to talk about the automatic, the money, Cameron Dicker. 5 for 5, including 2 clutch kicks tonight. I still don't feel any stress when Cameron Dicker goes out there. The broadcast was talking about, oh, they're here at 59. This is going to be a tough decision. I'm like, not really. If they need a 59-yard field goal from Cameron Dicker, I'm good. I love that Cameron Dicker is finally getting some of his flowers. He is an elite kicker. I hope he wins Walter Payton Man of the Year. He deserves that. He's leading all kickers in Pro Bowl votes. Just continue to do that because he is one of the best in the business at his job, and we are very lucky to have him, especially after what we went through for the previous few years. Before we get to some negative things, and yes, there are going to be negative things, have to shout out Omarion Hampton. 13 carries for 56 yards. I feel good about what he put out on tape there, but Hampton needs to be better in pass protection going forward. I think he will. He was so good at it in college, but you're off for this much time, and I don't think he was ready for what he was dealing with in that specific moment. So I expect him to be better. The rushing stuff, I think, was encouraging for his first game back. Okay, which eyeball do I want to gouge out with a spoon first? Let's go with the offensive line, I think, in this one. Thankfully, the Chargers won, because honestly, for most of this game, there were plenty of coverage issues that led to more hits and pressures and sacks for Herbert. I don't know what to say about this offensive line anymore other than it's just shameful watching the play there, and a lot of it starts with coaching on down. So I'm not just going to blame the players for their play. Multiple times, like, what are we doing? I don't understand how you can keep doing that and just be so wrong. It would be more honorable to get a holding call as you're getting knocked on your ass or something than what was on display from the interior tonight. The Bozeman plays were more obvious because a lot of free rusher stuff, him going just the wrong direction. Mekhi Becton right now is charged for 9 pressures. He's almost allowed as many pressures as he did last year, and he barely played this year. I think he's 230 fewer snaps than last year so far, and he's almost allowed as many pressures. That group, that duo in particular, just this offensive line is so bad, and it's shameful to watch how bad they are. I understand they are not Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt. There's no all-pro walking in the building right now. They're going to finish the season as significantly worse than the next worst offensive line of all time in terms of pass protection. I was furious at the game plan that Greg Roman threw out there tonight. We got to halftime, and the Chargers were running for like 5 yards per carry, and Justin Herbert was getting pressured on 60% of his dropbacks, and they just kept on dialing up straight 7-step dropbacks like it was nothing. Your job as an offensive coordinator is to game plan around those injuries. Your job as an offensive coordinator is to design a game plan where your quarterback who just had surgery on his finger can feel safe in the pocket and be able to function as an NFL quarterback, and that was not able to happen tonight. You're playing 2 of the best defenses in the NFL. Where are the free releases? Where are the easy touches? Where are the short yardage, quick passing concepts to get them the football quickly and create some yak opportunities? There was none of it. This was one of the worst Greg Roman games out there. It was so frustrating to see Jesse Mintu puts out a masterclass and Greg Roman does a disaster class in the same night. I was so mad at every single drive where Greg Roman is just constantly putting his quarterback in harm's way, not giving them easy buttons. Thank God the Chargers won this game. Philosophically, just a complete mess on offense. It baffles me how they have these certain things that look really good. The 6-man offensive line packages with Trevor Penning actually look really good. When they throw the football out of multiple tight end sets, it looks really good. When they throw the ball quickly to Quentin Johnston, Ladd McConkey, and Trey Harris, it looks really good. Why are we not leaning into that every single game? It's so confusing to me. You do the things that you do well, and you'll be relatively okay. It's tough for me to have any confidence in how that's going to go in the playoffs because I have no idea what version of Greg Roman we are going to get. Is he going to design a good game plan? I don't know. Is he going to design a shit game plan like tonight? I don't know. It's just really frustrating every single week to watch Justin Herbert just get obliterated by this offensive line and nothing changes.
Bottom line, somehow the Chargers are 9-4. Their playoff chances are over 70%, and if they beat the Chiefs next week, they could effectively end Kansas City's season. This team has shown they can win ugly. They can win with defense, and Herbert can carry them when he needs to. But they've got to figure some things out on offense if they want to make a real playoff run.